Hello, queens and kings. Welcome to my channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, you know what it is. What's up? What it is. So today, it's a beautiful Saturday. We'll be doing this necklace. Please, it's not the same video as last week. Today we'll be doing something different. We will be increasing the number of beads as we change the levels of our necklace. So as you can see here, the same number of beads on the yellow level is the same number of beads on the red level and on the black. But today we'll be doing something different, whereby we will be increasing the number of beads. Okay, so I have my needle and my upholstery thread, and at the end I am going to make three knots. My brain keeps saying loop, 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 and I'm like, no man. 3 knots on top of each other. As you can see, on top of each other, I mean at the same spot where you made the previous knot. Okay. Three knots on top of each other, because I'm using big Zulu beads. So for my foundation, I am going to start with my white beads. No, I'm going to start with my white beads, but I'm going to first start by picking up one bead, and I'm going to push it down to the end, because I want to I'm going to use it as a stopper bead, this one bead. The reason why I use a stopper bead is to prevent the other beads from leaking. So now I'm going to insert my needle in the opposite direction, and then I'm going to pull, forming a loop around this bead. Okay, so I'm going to start with my foundation. My foundation is going to be white beads. You can choose any beads that you love. For the foundation, I don't have a specific number of beads, because the length of your neck will be determined by the number of beads. So that's why there is no precise number of beads for your foundation when you're doing this necklace. Basically not for all. Yes, for all necklaces. It's the same case, which we'll be doing as we continue. Okay, so these are the number of my foundation. I won't put a lot of beads for this necklace in particular. It will be a newborn sizes, I'd like to say, because for time purposes. Okay, so the number of beads that you have will be determined by the length of your neck. If you want your necklace, the way it will be seated on your neck, for it to be loose, then you'll put extra beads. As you can see here, the neck, this is our foundation, the white beads. This is the size of my neck. Well, it doesn't fit anymore, which makes me sad because it's a reminder that I should go to the gym. As you can see, I made this necklace a very long time ago. Very long time ago. I think about 12 years ago. Okay, so I am going to start now building on. This is my foundation. So remember, the number of beads will be determined by your foundation in particular, for your neck size in particular. Okay, so I'm going to start with the color yellow. Yellow mellow. I'm going to start at the corner. I am going to pick up 8 beads. Because now we're at the corner, we're starting a new line. Oh, yes. Going to pick up 8 beads. So you can see I have 8 beads in total. So I'm going to take the beads and I'm going to push them down to the bottom, to the end. They'll be next to the foundation. I like to hold it like this. So I'm going to take my thumb and my index finger and push these beads down. Then with my other hand, I'm going to hold the rest of the necklace, the foundation, and I'm going to take my thread and I'm going to put it under the foundation. And I'm going to put the thread in between my second bead and my third bead. Let me get a pen to point. Okay, so the thread, I am going to put it in between my second bead and my third bead. Remember, the thread is under the foundation. Then I'm going to take the thread and then I'm going to bring it over, and then I'm going to pull. And then going to take my needle and then I'm going to insert my needle on the first and on the second bead, the first 2 beads. And then I pull my needle, so you can see. And now, because I was at the corner, I picked up 8 beads, but now it's going to be a different case. I'm going to pick up 6 beads. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I am 2 beads less. Every time when you're at the corner, you add 2 beads from the number of beads when you're at the center. So now I have 6 beads. Before I had 8 beads, but now I have 6 beads. I'm going to push my beads down, and then I'm going to get my thumb and my index finger. I'm going to push the beads down. Then with my other hand, I am going to hold the rest of the necklace. Then I'm going to take my thread and put it under the foundation. And it will be in after 2 beads. After this bead, remember, we hanged our thread previously here. Now we're going to hang it here. After 2 beads, that's where we're going to hang our thread. After 2 beads, that's where we're going to hang our thread. In between. Okay, so I'm going to take my thread and I'm going to put it under, as you can see. And then I'm going to take my thread and put it over and pull. Then I take my needle, then I insert my needle on the first 2 beads, like this. The first 2 beads, and then I pull. Remember to pull firmly, but not too much. Okay, and then I'm going to pause until we get to the end to save time. I decided to do one more, just to put an emphasis on the number of beads. You only put 8 beads when we come to the end, but because we're at the center of our necklace, that's why we're going to use 2 less beads from the 8 beads. 2 less beads from the corners. So we have 6 beads as we did here. Push it down with my index and my thumb. Then my other hand will be bringing the necklace. Then I take the thread, I put it under. Remember, after these 2 beads, I'm going to put my thread in between. And then my thread, I'm going to take it over. Then I insert my needle on the first 2 beads. The first 2 beads. There we go. And then I pull. Ta-da! Okay, so now I'm going to continue until we get to the last loop at the end. Okay, so this is how I've went so far. I'm so glad that I have a situation like this. It does happen that the number of your foundation beads will be an odd number. I almost said even number. So it means after I've made the last loop, I will have 2 beads sticking out. That's okay. It really does happen most of the times. So I'm really glad I came across something like this, so that if you also come across something like this, you'll put your mind at ease. Okay, so remember we are on our last loop. So when we're on our last loop, we add 2 beads from the number of, before we're adding 6 beads. So we're going to add 2 beads to that number and have 8 beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, and 8. All right. Okay, I have 8 beads in total. Okay, the same strategy. I'm going to pull down, index finger and my thumb. I'm going to push down. My other hand will be stationing the rest of the necklace nicely. I'm going to put my thread under our foundation and then bring it over. Now I'm at the corner. I am not going to insert my needle on 2 beads. Instead, I'm going to insert my needle on 4 beads, as you can see. And then I pull. So now we're going to start another different color. So I insert 4 beads. So here's a disclaimer. So now that we're on a different level, we're increasing our number of beads. So before here at the center, we had 6 beads, but on this level, we're going to have 8 beads, which means on our corners, we're going to add 2 beads to that number. So we're gonna have 8 beads in between our necklace, and at the corners we add 2, which is 10 beads. So which means I'm going to pick up 10 beads. So the trick about this pattern in particular is the numbering part of it. 3, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10. So just remember that everything has to be in twos. We can also skip and say, because here we're at 6, we can move straight to 10 beads at the center and have 12 beads. So every number that you decide on here at the center, remember that at the ends, your corners here and here, you add 2 beads. So because I've decided that on this level, the green level, I'm going to have 8 beads, which means at the ends, I'm going to add 2 beads, which is going to be 10. So I'm at the end and I'm picking up 10 green beads. Okay. I'm not going to really focus a lot on the pattern, the procedural. I was doing it for the foundation because we do have a video on the basics, on the process of making. It's still the same process, but with a different numbering. So I really would suggest that please go check out. If you haven't seen the video, I'll put the link to the video down below. Please go check it out. So remember, we have 10 at the corner, which means here we're going to have 8. We're going to have 8 because we are, as the levels proceed, we are going to increase the number of beads. Remember, the thread goes in between the free beads. I have 2 free beads here and I have 2 free beads here. I explain it more on the first video. Please go check it out. Even it doesn't mean, let me clarify, it doesn't mean that if you haven't seen that video, then you instantly won't be able to do this one. No, just to see the difference in the sizes and also to check the routines. 8 beads, because now I'm not focusing on the routine. My main focus is on the pattern, which is more on the number of beads that I have. Okay, I have 8 beads here. What I mean by the routine, I mean the process of making, the pulling, the inserting of 2 beads. I thoroughly explained it compared to this video. Okay, yo, the electricity almost tried us again this week, and luckily our counselor was like, no ways. So it only went for, I would say, a day, because it went at 7 in the morning and it came back, or on a Wednesday it went at 7 in the morning and then it came back at 9 in the evening. So it was almost 24 hours, almost. Luckily the problem was quickly fixed. Okay, so 8 beads. Please remember to check the number of beads because they might affect the shape of your necklace. Please remember to check where you inserted, what I mean by insert, where you hanged your thread. As you can see, I didn't just hang the thread anywhere. I made sure that it was in between those free beads. Okay, so now I'm going to pause and I'm going to continue. Okay, so here am I at the end. Remember, we had 8 beads. So now because we're at the end, I have to add 2 more beads, which means I will have 10 beads in total. So I'm going to pick up my 10 beads. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 beads. And then I'm going to insert my needle, as you can see. So remember, here is a different case. You insert your needle on 4 beads instead of 2 because you add the end, the corner. Remember to pull your thread. There we go. So let's add 1 more color. Okay, so my next color will be red. So now remember, on this green level, in between we're picking up 8 beads. So on the next one we should be picking up 10 beads, which means on our corners we add 2 more beads. That means we're going to have 12 beads here, 12 beads here, and 10 beads around here. Okay, so I'm going to pick up 12 red beads. Okay, 12 red beads. I'm going to insert in between the beads. Remember, I have 6 free beads in total, that are free. So I'm going to insert between the the number 3 beads. Ooh. Let me bring it like this. Then I insert my thread on the 2 beads, as you can see. And then I pull. You see? So 3 beads here and 3 beads here. 3, the number. 3 and free can be quite confusing. Okay, so I had 12 red beads, so now I'm going to pick up 10 red beads. My 10 red beads, I'm going to insert them between the 3 free beads. 3 free beads. Okay, remember to insert on 2 beads after you've hanged your thread. Oopsie, and you pull. See, can you see that the loops keep increasing as you go on? So as you go, you continue with your 10 beads, and when you come to the corner, remember that on your 10 beads you have to add 2 beads, which means you'll have 12 beads in at the end. When you want to level up, I'm sure by now you know how to do the calculation. Thank you so much, guys. I really hope you find this tutorial understandable. I feel like today my time is quite overboard. I'm really sorry for that. On the next video, we will be doing, as you can see here, our loops are quite round. So we're going to doing a pattern whereby we'll be making our loops sharp. If I post during the week, guys, I am trying to commit to posting twice a week. I am trying to. So if you see a video during the week, that's great. If you don't see it, I'm sorry. I did say I'm trying. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for the subscriptions. Yo, we're on 80. I'm very excited. If you like the content that you see here, please consider subscribing. See you on the next video. Thank you.